Snark Squad. Good evening, good morning, good night, good day. Like, babes, it is Sunday evening.
And it is the best time of the entire week, honestly.
It really is. The wine flowing. Hello, Rosie. And babes, we are just sitting here wishing we were in the ocean state right now.
Cozy, confused, and so ready to discuss.
We really need to be honest with you guys for a second. Because, babes, we are loving this version of Real Housewives.
Yeah.
Like, way more than we expected.
Oh, absolutely. When the cast dropped, I was skeptical, but I'm fully on board now.
Same. But, well, we have to admit, we're still so confused.
Literally so confused.
Yeah.
It is exactly like flashback Salt Lake City season 1. Do you remember that era?
Oh, my God. Baby Gorgeous and Mother Marks.
Yes. When they first came on, we had two women with the exact same center part dark hair, the exact same buckle fry, wearing identical jewel-toned blazers.
Right? We could not tell them apart to save our lives.
Unless you zoomed in on the jewelry or, like, the specific tequila brand in their hand, you literally did not know who was threatening who.
And now, we are back in the exact same situation. Like, identical.
We truly are.
So the question is, when do we stop being confused? Because I am sitting on my couch, I am physically holding a goblet of blush wine, and my brain is just misfiring.
It's a lot to process, I mean, structurally.
It is. I'm frustrated, I am taking notes, I'm trying so hard, but I feel like I'm drowning in a sea of blonde highlights and thick accents.
Well, you can't just casually watch this show. Like, you can't be scrolling on your phone.
No, absolutely not.
I am literally mapping these people out like a diagram. I have a whiteboard in my living room.
Stop, you do not have a whiteboard.
I do. I have push pins. I have, red yarn connecting the local estheticians to the bakery owners. It's like a classified intelligence operation.
Oh my God, a literal detective.
You have to. You need a flowchart just to understand who buys tennis bracelets from whose mother in Rhode Island. The ecosystem is just too dense.
A whiteboard? See, this is why I need you here. Because I am just vibrating with visceral emotions, and you are over here doing, like, trigonometry to figure out who slept with Dino.
Someone has to do the math, bestie.
It's too much. But okay, before we completely spiral, we need a vibe check. Because in honor of the Ocean State babes, yes, we are eating lobster rolls.
And yes, we are drinking rosé wine.
Because this is the meal of champions.
The pure luxury of it all. Like, I am tasting this warm butter soaking into the brioche bun, and I am fully subscribing to the coastal delusion right now.
It is a lifestyle.
It is. I'm mentally projecting myself onto a yacht docked in Newport. I'm pretending I'm wearing a cashmere sweater draped over my shoulders.
Right, complaining about the humidity ruining your blowout.
Exactly. The crisp bite of the rosé cutting through the lobster. It is giving generational wealth, even though we are literally sitting here in matching sweatpants.
It is the ultimate escape. I took one bite, and suddenly I felt this urge to yell at a valet at a country club.
That's the spirit taking over?
The vibes are immaculate. But, we need to confess something to you guys. Because, babes, we went down to the local shop before recording.
Oh no, please don't bring this up.
I have to. We tried to order our food using our best Italian accents. And babes, it was an absolute fail.
A failure on a cellular level. I have never experienced such immediate, soul-crushing regret in my entire life.
I was fully committed to the bit, though.
You were too committed.
I walked into that deli, I smelled the prosciutto hanging from the ceiling, and the spirit of Rhode Island reality TV just possessed my body.
I tried to stop you, I really did.
I marched up to the counter, looked the man in the eye, and I swear to you, the loudest, most aggressive gabagool flew out of my mouth.
It echoed. The gabagool echoed off the tile.
I asked for a pound of mozzarella with zero irony. I dropped the A entirely. I thought I was starring in a Scorsese film.
And the silence that followed, it wasn't just quiet, it was heavy. It was a suffocating silence.
He just stared at me.
The cashier literally stopped wiping the meat slicer. He gave us this blank, unblinking stare. I wanted the floor to open up and swallow me.
I panicked.
I pulled out my phone and pretended I didn't know you. I was staring at a blank lock screen, just praying for it to end.
My face turned the color of a fire engine. I shoved a $20 bill across the counter and practically sprinted out the glass door.
We can never go back there.
They definitely have our faces printed out by the register.
Yeah.
But, okay, speaking of doing unhinged, embarrassing things in public, we need to talk.
Yes, we do.
Because you saw something on TikTok. And, babes, we have questions.
Massive questions about society as a whole. Because I was scrolling late last night, letting the algorithm just feed me nonsense, and I saw a video that actually made me pause.
It's so crazy.
So this prank TikToker, right, one of those guys who just acts like a public nuisance, he decided to go into a fully functioning active mechanic shop.
Huh.
But not just him. He went in with 100 people, 100 individuals, all dressed in matching mechanic coveralls, pretending to work there, just swarming this private business, touching tools, going under cars.
And babes, he got arrested. Jail.
Actual, literal jail.
When you sent that to me, I had to read it 3 times. 100 fake mechanics. Like, think about the logistics. Where do you even buy 100 matching Dickies coveralls?
That's a massive Amazon order.
Right. Imagine you're just a regular guy bringing your Honda Civic in for an oil change, and suddenly it's a flash mob of grease monkeys taking over the building.
It's terrifying.
I felt so bad for the actual shop owner. So now we really need to ask, are we incentivizing bad behavior in 2026?
We absolutely are. It's the dark core of the attention economy, honestly. We've commodified shock value so much that a 100-person orchestrated trespass is just like a career move now.
A career move that involves a mugshot.
Exactly. It's not just a harmless prank like Ashton Kutcher hiding a camera in 2005. It's a desperation for screen time and algorithmic favor. He went to jail, yes, but think about the views.
That's what scares me.
He probably got 20 million views, which means brand deals, which means money.
That is exactly what terrifies me. Like, do we think people are going to get more extreme for likes and views?
Unquestionably.
Because if spending a night in county jail is just a business expense, where is the line? I feel like people are treating the real world like a video game.
Like NPCs.
Yes!
Right.
Using that poor mechanic as a prop for a viral moment, I was just shocked and so emotional over it.
The line was erased years ago, bestie. We are in the wild west of clout chasing now. Relevancy is the only currency.
It's just so dark.
It is dark. But honestly, that desperation for attention, that willingness to sacrifice basic decency for screen time,
Wait, I see where you're going.
it's the exact same psychology that drives a group of wealthy women in Rhode Island to completely lose their grip on reality.
Oh my God, yes. That is the perfect transition. It is the exact same frequency of delusion.
Let's get into it.
Let's talk about episode 4, Derailed Divas. We have to recap this because I am bursting.
It was an architectural marvel of a mess.
So we are fresh off the Studio 54 birthday party disaster from last week. Liz completely lost her mind at her husband Jerry's party, screaming in a sequined jumpsuit.
A great jumpsuit, to be fair.
Beautiful jumpsuit. Terrible behavior. So we start the episode with Liz trying to do damage control. She's sitting with Dolores Catania.
Which is just a blessing for us all.
Universally loved Dolores, and Liz is literally saging the dining table where the fight happened.
Saging the mahogany table. As if the negative energy of calling your friend a two-faced snake is a physical residue you can just smoke out of the wood.
It's peak pseudo-spirituality.
Yeah.
And Liz says she acted like a bitter, drunken witch. And Dolores, in all her wisdom, just calls it a menopause moment.
A menopause moment. I literally paused the TV. Is that a medical diagnosis or just the best PR spin ever?
Sorry, I threatened your social standing. My estrogen dipped. Incredible. But Liz knows she has to clean it up. So she invites Kelsey to meet up.
By the water.
Right. Jerry sold his spearfishing boat overnight, so Liz invites Kelsey down to the commercial docks to clean the junk off the boat.
Let's examine this aesthetic for a second. You get a text like, "Hey, bestie, sorry I screamed at you in front of our friends. Want to come to the docks and haul heavy cardboard boxes off a fishing boat?"
It is so specifically Rhode Island.
It's not high tea at the Four Seasons. It's manual labor on a rusty hull.
She is literally making Kelsey carry life jackets. So they're on the deck, and Liz apologizes. She tries to explain why the word ongoing triggered her so much regarding the Dino affair rumors.
Right.
But then, just when you think it's a standard apology, Kelsey drops this massive lore bomb about Dino.
The structural delivery of this reveal was staggering.
She explains that 10 years ago, during a messy time, she briefly hooked up with Dino. And when she tried to break it off, he wouldn't accept it.
He essentially stalked her.
Yes. Showing up wherever she was, getting aggressive if she talked to other guys. She literally claims she has PTSD and avoids him like the plague.
A deeply unsettling predatory dynamic.
So I need to push back on the show right here. Kelsey drops this dark, terrifying story about Dino being obsessive, and Liz is just like, okay, cool. Vastly different experiences. Grab that box.
It was the most jarring juxtaposition of emotions I have ever seen.
Are we not going to unpack that Dino sounds terrifying?
Liz simply cannot allow that truth to penetrate her reality. It would require too much psychological rewiring to accept that her husband's best friend is a predator.
Well, wait, I actually have a theory on that. I don't think it's just cognitive dissonance. I think Liz needs Dino to be the good guy out of pure survival.
Oh, elaborate.
Jerry is a commercial fisherman, right? He leaves her alone for weeks at a time.
Yeah.
Dino is the guy who checks in on her, fixes the house, acts as her surrogate companion.
Wow, okay, yes.
If she accepts Kelsey's story, she has to accept that her entire support system is a lie. She's defending him because she has to.
That is a brilliant socioeconomic read. The boys will be boys mentality in those coastal towns is so strong because the women rely on the men for infrastructure.
Exactly. But watching them hug it out over a stalking story gave me whiplash.
And we don't even have time to process it because the editors smash cut to the beach.
Oh my God, the beach.
Ashley invites the women to her favorite local beach, and the outfit disparity is high comedy.
Funniest thing all year. Ashley shows up in normal mom attire, cover-up, flip-flops, sun hat.
And the rest of the squad arrives looking like Malibu Barbie going to a Met Gala after party.
Designer woven bags, full contour, wedges in the sand.
Terrified of the undercurrent.
Alicia is actively having a panic attack because she prefers her private country club.
Yeah.
But we have to talk about what she brought us a snack.
We must do a scientific exploration of the pizza chips.
The pizza chips. I'm gagging thinking about it. Alicia brings these plastic containers, and Ashley is horrified.
As she should be.
Alicia proudly says her grandfather, who owns Superior Bakery, invented them. And babes, they are just squares of bread with red tomato sauce baked on.
No cheese.
No cheese, just dry, saucy bread.
Let's analyze the culinary logic here. She sells this dry bread like it's a gastronomic breakthrough.
Like it's revolutionary.
She says it's perfect for the beach because dairy spoils in the sun. Which, okay, mozzarella in August is a bacterial gamble, I concede that.
Fair point.
But the solution to food safety isn't to strip the pizza of its defining characteristic. You don't take the engine out of a car and say, well, now it won't overheat.
Exactly. You just have a heavy metal box. You can't slap ragu on a crouton and call it a regional delicacy.
But look at the sociology here. She defends this flawed bakery item with her life because she has to defend her family's legacy.
Right?
Her financial situation with Billy is so insecure, so this bakery history is the only tangible proof of her pedigree. She's defending her bloodline, not the snack.
Wow. Okay, when you frame it like that, it's actually super sad.
It is.
But while we were recovering from cheeseless pizza, Alicia casually drops a nuclear bomb of gossip from her beach chair.
The Spanish teacher.
Yes. She casually says she heard Brian Rula's husband cheated on his first wife with Rula, and the first wife was Alicia's high school Spanish teacher.
The delivery belongs in the Smithsonian. Deadpan perfection.
She adjusts her sunglasses and says, I hope that's not true because I really did like my Spanish teacher.
Hands delicately placed over her heart, staring at the waves.
I felt my blood pressure spike. Your high school Spanish teacher. How small is this state?
6 degrees of separation is out of control in Rhode Island. It's a closed, incestuous loop.
Everyone has dated or bought jewelry from someone else in the group, and she doesn't even pretend to care about Rula's marriage. She's just fiercely loyal to a woman who taught her verb conjugations.
It's brilliant reality TV mechanics. But listen, the Spanish teacher mess pales in comparison to the gothic horror at Joe Ellen's house.
Oh no, the House of Horrors.
We are dissecting the messiest family tree ever broadcast.
I am deeply distressed by this segment. So Joe Ellen goes to Chicago for work, and her sister, Jen, comes over to watch the kids with Joe Ellen's husband, Gary.
But first, the comedic relief.
The bananas. Gary offered to order groceries on an app, and instead of 6 bananas, he ordered 6 bunches of bananas.
Weaponized male incompetence elevated to high art. 36 individual bananas.
What do you do with 36 bananas for a long weekend?
You have 72 hours before your kitchen is a fruit fly sanctuary, but the bananas are just a distraction from the deeply unsettling psychosexual dynamic playing out.
Because Joe Ellen reveals in her confessional that her sister Jen and her husband Gary dated in high school.
Just casually.
She says they flirt constantly, but she doesn't mind. She literally says, he might have touched her boobs in high school, it's fine.
Nonchalant.
I was squirming on my sofa. Why are you leaving your husband alone with his high school ex-girlfriend who shares your exact DNA?
Because personal boundaries do not exist in this enclave.
And then comes the kicker. Joe Ellen says if Jen isn't married by 45, Jen wants Gary to be her sperm donor.
The absolute climax of the horror story.
I physically walked out of my living room. I was pacing. She wants his sperm but loves him like a brother. You in danger, girl.
It's like a true crime documentary.
How do you brush past this?
Yeah.
My sister wants my husband's DNA to raise half-siblings anyway. Back to my PowerPoint.
Yeah.
What is happening?
Let's break down the psychology because it's fascinating. They hated each other growing up, but trauma bonded when their dad died in 2010.
Right.
They cling to each other to avoid grief. So Jen wants to biologically anchor herself permanently to Joe Ellen's family unit so she can never be abandoned.
Wow. Okay, on a sad psychological level, that makes sense. But I still say Gary's weaponizing the bananas to avoid dealing with this.
Hiding behind the potassium. I love that theory.
He doesn't want to talk about extracting his DNA, so he's just burying himself in fruit.
Brilliant. But we need to pivot to something differently chaotic. Welcome to Alicia's house and the mafia vibe aunties.
A highlight of television this week. I was obsessed.
The spread was staggering. Craft services for a Scorsese mob film.
Mountains of manicotti, fresh cannolis, massive garlic bread, and Alicia's mom, Anita, and aunts, Sharon and Sandra, holding court.
And immediately we get another geography lesson. Ashley's esthetician is the same one the aunts use. Liz's sister is best friends with Alicia's mom. Rula knows Billy's family from the jewelry store.
The spiderweb is inescapable. But the real meat is the interrogation. The aunties corner Rula the second she sits down.
They descend on her.
Rula's trying to downplay the cheating rumors, smiling, and these women in leopard print just look right through her soul.
And one aunt asks the thesis statement question of the season. Do you want to spend the rest of your life looking over your shoulder?
Chilling. Delivered with such maternal menace, you could see Rula's facade crack.
But the zenith of the scene is Alicia's mother, Anita, stone-faced, doesn't blink, and says, I just hope and pray that you somehow hurt him. I'm going to pray you get him back.
Iconic. Cancel all the Bravo after shows. I just want a Twitch stream of Alicia's aunts reacting to the episodes in real time.
I would pay a premium subscription for that.
I would give them my bank account. But then it pivots to Alicia's finances. She revealed she won't marry Billy because he refuses to put her name on the house deed, or Pizza Mama.
After she worked there for 11 years, sweating in a kitchen.
Without a single dollar in equity.
The financial control is staggering.
Yeah.
And Alicia admits she is a runaway bride with massive daddy issues because her dad took everything from them when she was a kid.
It breaks my heart. She's terrified of committing to a man who holds all the cards. She just wants to be a partner, not an employee.
A deeply compelling storyline. But Bravo refuses to let us dwell because we cut to Rosie and Ashley at a petting zoo.
Oh, Ashley will not let up on the kids thing. She is pressuring Rosie so aggressively.
Projecting her own maternal anxieties.
But Rosie admits in a confessional that she and Ridge actually did try IVF, but she had an epiphany and realized she didn't want kids. She prefers her freedom.
Which is a profound, vulnerable admission.
I totally respect her for that. But I do not respect the absolute lie she tells next on the way to the rail explorers.
The diaper defense.
Yes. She casually claims she left her news anchor job at Channel 10 because she had severe colitis and had to wear adult diapers at the anchor desk.
A truly baffling PR choice. She mapped out her vulnerabilities and thought, what is so deeply humiliating that no one would ever question it?
I'll tell national television I was incontinent.
She banked on the sheer embarrassment serving as armor, but the editors are ruthless because we immediately smash cut to Kelsey.
Kelsey looks dead into the lens and says the entire state of Rhode Island knows she got fired for having an affair with a higher-up.
Immediate tactical nuke on the narrative.
My jaw hit the floor. Diapers versus an affair with the boss. It's a PR excuse is worse. Why would you brand yourself the diaper anchor?
Because an affair makes you untrustworthy.
Okay.
A gastro nightmare makes you a sympathetic victim of biology. She gambled on sympathy.
And lost. Which perfectly sets up the unmitigated chaos of the rail explorers.
The multi-person bicycles on abandoned train tracks?
Yes, pedaling through the leafy woods. And Rula, our absolute queen, is in the back seat, physically shaking up a tequila cocktail in a silver shaker while pedaling.
Poetry in motion. Get her away from Brian, put her on a train bike with hard liquor, and she thrives.
Unhinged behavior, making a margarita at 10 miles an hour.
But the peace doesn't last, because Rosie, acting as the bone collector, asks Liz what she thinks of Ashley.
Liz bluntly says Ashley was rude. And Rosie looks at Liz and says, well, you know, Liz, you come across scarier than you think.
Stirring the pot with a wooden spoon.
And then they sit around a rustic bonfire for a charcuterie picnic, and things go completely off the rails.
It starts with community theater acting.
Kelsey volunteers to roleplay as Billy, so Alicia can practice demanding her worth.
Kelsey lowers her voice like, I'm Bill. What are you going to say to me?
And Alicia, in peak pop culture delusion, says, I can't have sex with you all the time. I'd rather go to bed and watch Love Island.
I fell off the couch, fighting for financial equity by quoting Love Island. calling herself a sensitive gangster.
But then it gets serious. She cries, saying he's telling her she's worthless by not putting her on the deed. It was so raw and sad.
A genuine breakthrough. But it's immediately shattered. Alicia tries to change the subject and ask what Rosie and Ashley were whispering about.
Liz shows growth, admits she gets defensive, and apologizes again for her party behavior. Dolores says, circumstances happen, you move on.
Wrapping up perfectly.
Until Rosie strikes. Rosie looks at Liz and says, well, Alicia, you said she's always like that.
Throwing Alicia directly under the bus of an oncoming train.
Implying Alicia thinks Liz is inherently a monster.
The temperature dropped 30 degrees. Alicia realizes she's been set up. She points a finger and gives a warning shot. Rosie, I wouldn't do that if I were you.
But Rosie doubles down. And the dam breaks. It was a nuclear explosion. I need to quote this verbatim.
Please do.
Alicia stands up, towering over the fire, and screams, "Don't flip that shit, sneaky little troll!" She grabs her designer bag, marches into the woods, turns back and yells, "Fucking thirsty, bitch! So thirsty it's scary! Welcome to Rhode Island, bitch!"
But welcome to Rhode Island, bitch, on the state license plate right now.
She pours her drink in the dirt. She is threatening homicide over a game of telephone.
Blind fury that usually takes 3 seasons to achieve. We are on episode 4.
I was clutching my pearls. I thought the friend group was fractured forever. But then, the whiplash.
10 seconds later.
They agree to talk privately 3 feet from the fire. Alicia says, if you're sorry, I can forgive you. Rosie mumbles sorry. And they hug.
They embrace. The group is stunned into silence. Someone whispers, did she just hug her?
The terrifying resilience of these women to scream death threats and then make up 45 seconds later.
Liz perfectly called her the flip-flopper, chaotic perfection.
I am out of breath. We need to step back and try to make sense of this. Let's try to map out this cast because I am still lost on the family tree.
Let's attempt the impossible. The core problem is the statistical anomaly of the husbands' names.
It is maddening. I feel like I'm taking a trick test. Alicia's fiancé is Billy. Kelsey's boyfriend is Bill. Rula's is Brian. Joe Ellen's is Gary. Liz is Jerry. Ashley's is Jared. Rosie's is Rich.
Billy, Bill, Brian, Gary, Jerry. Phonetic warfare on the audience.
How do we keep the infidelity straight?
And the flowchart is an unsolvable M.C. Escher painting. You have Dino, Liz's protector, but Kelsey's traumatizing hookup. You have Brian cheating on Rula, but formerly married to Alicia's Spanish teacher.
Stop, it's too much.
You have Gary, Joellen's husband, but Jen's high school makeout partner and future sperm donor. And Rosie, with her Channel 10 boss affair masking as colitis.
The flowchart is just a tornado of bad decisions. Everyone is connected by an affair, an esthetician, or a cheeseless bakery.
If you're driving right now, do not try to mentally map this out.
You will crash your car. Just accept that Brian is the nexus of evil. We are confused, but we love it.
We're thriving in it. But looking back at the whole episode, what was your messiest, most paused moment?
Oh, without a doubt, the House of Horrors. Jo Ellen casually telling millions of people her sister wants her husband's sperm. I rewound it 3 times.
Dark, twisted, gothic literature.
V.C. Andrews couldn't write that. Imagine Thanksgiving dinner at that house. What about you?
For me, it's undoubtedly Alicia dropping the Spanish teacher gossip on the beach. Structural brilliance.
A sniper shot from a beach chair.
Sitting there, terrified of the sand, eating cheeseless pizza out of Tupperware, and deciding to nuke your friend's marriage by invoking public school education. Flawlessly shady.
Which brings us to the ultimate question. Who is carrying this franchise? Main character energy. Is there a debate?
I don't think so. Alicia is the gravitational center. She gave us pizza chips, Love Island, the mob boss aunties, the sneaky troll screaming match, and the makeup hug. All in 1 hour.
She put Rhode Island on her back. But I have to give a close runner-up to Rula, just for shaking the tequila on the moving train bike.
Desperate innovation.
My husband is a cheater. I'm going to make a perfect margarita on these rusty tracks or die trying. That is survival.
Respect to her mobile mixology. Okay, final question. Be honest. Put on your Malibu Barbie outfit. Would you survive this group in the ocean state?
Oh, full-body emotional breakdown. I wouldn't last 5 minutes. I'd be crying in the bathroom at the Studio 54 party. If Liz gave me that unblinking stare, I'd disintegrate into sequins.
You would be eaten alive by the pizza chips.
If Alicia yelled at me by the fire, I'd call my mom in a panic to pick me up. I do not have the constitution for this.
I, on the other hand, would unequivocally thrive.
Of course you would.
I've mapped my strategy. Avoid Liz. Decline any physical exertion like boats or rail biking. I would permanently install myself next to Alicia's aunts,
Eating the manicotti.
eating 75 pounds of imported meats, nodding sympathetically while they plot revenge, and taking mental notes to destroy everyone later, quietly amassing ammunition.
You are a reality TV psychopath. You'd fit right in, which is why I'm glad I'm safe on my couch. Listen, bestie, let's wrap up these chaotic vibes. We've lived our rosé dreams, our lobster roll luxury, and the absolute confusion of these identically named husbands.
And we pondered the dark internet madness of storming a mechanic shop for clout.
It all connects. The housewives screaming for screen time, the TikTokers going to jail for engagement. We're all just dancing in the core of the attention economy.
Bleak but true. We'll do anything for the spotlight.
So we have to ask you guys, our third bestie on the couch, are you still confused too?
Send us your theories, take a picture of your whiteboards. We need help figuring out who Dino actually is.
And tell us honestly, would you try the Italian accent at the deli? Or are you too cowardly now?
And babes, how far is too far for clout? Where is the line?
We need to hear your thoughts. Remind the Snark Squad to rate, review, subscribe, and send us your unhinged submissions.
Send this episode to your most confused friend, the one who still thinks Jerry and Gary are the same person. They need this architectural breakdown.
They really do. Before we go, chew on this. Alicia is terrified to marry Billy because he holds the financial power, but she just spent an hour threatening to kill a woman and establishing a mafia alliance. Who really holds the power in Rhode Island? Billy has the deed, but Alicia owns the narrative. Thank you so much to the Snark Squad for tuning in and spiraling with us.
Stay shady.
Stay iconic, and we'll see you on the Snark side.